what next big thing in automation? You are an expert. You are speaking around the globe. I do want to probe you on your things. Okay, why don't we start with big umbrella? People talk about intelligent automation all the time. People talking about automation trends. What do you think is cooking for all of us in 2022, Wayne?
Okay, wow, what a great opening question. So yeah, I mean, I've been involved in this world of automation now since 2010. So I'm showing my age a little bit. Um, and you know what? I think what's cooking in 2022 is probably not so much about technology, but there's a realization that maybe the next thing in automation is change management and cultural shifts and things like that, as opposed to just it being a massive technology play. I'm seeing that more and more, right? Probably over the last kind of 2 to 3 years, there are some real success stories, and then there are a load of organizations that are uh, struggling to create transformational change. And you have to kind of question, well, why can some organizations take these group of technologies and do wonderful things with them, and other organizations take exactly the same group of technologies and really struggle? And can't be the technology you would think, so it must be something else. And so I spent a lot of time thinking about, what are those other things. I guess I was really spoiled when I was at Telefonica back in the day. I didn't know how great a culture we had for innovating and wanting to make change. And number two, I didn't realize how well set up we were to take advantage of intelligent automation, because we had literally stripped transactional activities away from large parts of our organization. And we did that because we were shipping it into lower cost operations offshore in our outsourcing partners. And we didn't do that because we thought, hey, we're going to create a huge pipeline of opportunity for intelligent automation, because we didn't know that at the time. But certainly we did now. And so, yeah, it's I think the next big thing, one big thing, is probably not to technology. And I do want to talk obviously today about technology, but maybe some of the softer side, the cultural side, the people side, that is going to be awakened in 2022, 2023, I think. And that's where I think we'll start to see the big changes happening. And that will then enable transformational change using intelligent automation and other technologies.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm not surprised that you're bringing people first, before we even touch platforms, before we even talk about technology capabilities. All right. So I'm not surprised, but let's spell it out. You mentioned transformational changes, and yet people kind of sometimes resistant or reluctant to changes. Okay. So before we dive deeper into automation, few things that you learn, few things that cultural shifts, a company will have to make, some of the insights there, please.
Yeah. So no change is easy, right? We as people, I guess, are creatures of habit, whether we like it or not. And I spent a lot of time early on in my career in digital customer service, and the challenge that I had was to convert people from traditional means of contact on the phone and or email into these new channels that were predominantly enabled by the smartphone, so things like digital messaging, online chat, etc. And half it was, the challenge was that people are stuck in the ways, and that's your consumers. They're used to a way of interacting with the brand. They're used to a way of doing things. I see this a lot. I've got my in-laws over at the moment, and to try and put certain types of food in front of them, it's like, oh, I don't want to eat that rubbish. But give them a good British banger, and they are, they absolutely love it because they're creatures of habit, and that's exactly the same of your employees. They've done things a certain way. They like things being done a certain way, and here we are with our no-code, low-code revolution, saying, "Hey, what you have done is great, but we need to change." And for a lot of organizations, when they have a lot of tenure, a lot of experience, that is not the easiest of things to do. And I think I've started to see, interestingly, and I did a webinar the other week where there was a really interesting case study where an organization had realized that they had a real cultural challenge with doing work in a different way. And their approach to doing this was that they were going to bring in new blood. They were, from day one, going to enable them with no code, low code capabilities to transform work. And part of their role, as well as doing the job, was to always be thinking about how they could do it differently, how they could do it better. And this is not a process improvement person. This is, Dave from customer service. It's Sam in finance. It's Steve over in HR, and it's Sally in procurement, right? This is not, we've created a process improvement team. This is your role now involves and includes process improvement as standard. And that is how they are going to approach this change to their culture. They realize that it is, quite difficult to teach an old dog new tricks. And also, if they don't think about their employees entering the workforce in a different way, then they're going to die a bit of a slow death. And I think that was so insightful when I heard that for the first time. And I've seen it with companies.